Everybody, my name is Jacob Stanley, and today I'm going to present to you guys and inform you about what Parkinson's disease is. So when I was 2 years old, my papa was actually diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. So sadly, I've had to grow up watching the disease take over his body and watch him not be able to do the things that he loves, which is quite heartbreaking. Just a thing that I had to get used to, though. So I think that it's important for people to know what Parkinson's disease is, understand what symptoms go along with it, and how it affects not only the patient that has it, but the family as well. So today I will be informing you guys the symptoms and demographics of what Parkinson's disease is, who it affects, how it affects people, and then finally how to treat the disease. So let's start out with discussing what Parkinson's disease actually is. According to the Gale Encyclopedia of Nursing Allied Health, Parkinson's disease is a disorder in which one's capabilities to move are debilitated. This is caused by the substantia nigra, which is a small mass in the brain, which is responsible for So when the substantia nigra's mass is decreased, the dopamine levels in your body cannot be fully produced, which causes the shaking and tremors associated with Parkinson's disease. According to the Home Health House, Parkinson's disease is a condition that affects control over your movements caused by the lack of dopamine, which is a chemical that helps your nerves and brain to communicate with each other. When dopamine is missing from certain areas of the brain, the messages that tell your body how to move are lost and distorted. So when someone thinks they have Parkinson's disease, they go to their doctor, and basically the doctor is going to be looking for 4 key symptoms. And according to the National Parkinson's Foundation, those 4 symptoms are tremors, bradykinesia, stiffness in the arms, legs, and trunk, and postural instability. So I'm going to break those down because those are kind of big words. Tremors are defined as rapid contraction of the muscles, rapid contraction and relaxation of the muscles, which cause tremors or shaking. Bradykinesia is defined by movements of short going and stopping. It's basically just choppy movement because the dopamine in the brain cannot fully send the whole entire signal, which causes the breakup. The stiffness in arms, legs, and trunk, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. And then postural instability right here. Basically, you're just constantly bent over and kind of closed in onto yourself as compared to what doctors want you to be, which is standing up tall and straight like a soldier. Now that I've given you a brief understanding on what the disease is, I'll tell you about the demographics and symptoms. So according to the Gale Encyclopedia of Nursing Allied Health, again, symptoms of Parkinson's disease is seen in up to 15% of those between ages 65 and 74, and up to 30% in those 75 to 84, and about 1 million people in the United States are affected, with about 50,000 new cases each year. And this statistic is a little bit misleading. So basically what it's saying is by that age, that percent of people will have one of those symptoms that I had told you about earlier, not that they've been fully diagnosed. So by those ages, roughly 1% of those people have been actually diagnosed. So when people get Parkinson's disease, there's 2 main ways that they get it. One case is through sporadic cases, which is defined by a rapid mutation in the genetic code. Basically, when that happens, a gene is mutated, which will then cause for the coding of a different amino acid of what's supposed to be coded for, which will produce a different protein. So where that protein is used in the body, there will be deformities and just the body won't function like it's supposed to. So the next is the inheritance. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Parent has it, child has it. According to the Genetics Home Reference, they say the symptoms associated with Parkinson's disease are cognition impairment, psychiatric conditions, tremors, and postural instability. So again, I'll break those down. Cognition is basically the body's ability to perceive and make judgment. So that's impaired. And then psychiatric conditions, depression, sleep apnea, anxiety, and so on. So now that I've told you about the demographics and symptoms, I'll tell you about the treatment. According to drug treatment of Parkinson's disease, There's actually no known cure for Parkinson's disease, but it is possible to treat the symptoms. And those two main ways are through deep brain stimulation and dopaminergic medications. Deep brain stimulation is when you go into surgery, and it's pretty cool. They implant an electrical node into your brain, and then a pacer in your heart will stimulate it to stimulate the dopamine to be released into your body. And then the dopaminergic medications, they basically are medications that go into your brain and then mimic the action of dopamine. And the most common dopaminergic medication is levodopa, and that's been the most common since the 1960s. It's popular because it's easily absorbed through the digestive system, which will then go into the bloodstream and directly into the brain to be converted. Another popular way is through exercise. It's just been proven to help relieve the tension associated with Parkinson's disease. So today, I have told you what Parkinson's disease is. It's a nasty disease that dramatically affects not only the life of the patient, but through the parents and family as well. Thankfully, it is said that people do not die from Parkinson's disease, they die with Parkinson's disease. So the disease itself won't kill you, you just die with the symptoms associated with it. So Parkinson's disease, I've provided you with what it is, the demographics and symptoms, and how to treat it. So hopefully now, when you see someone on the streets or you know someone personally with the disease, you'll be able to further connect with them and understand what they're going through as well as their family. So Parkinson's disease is a very serious neurological disorder that incapacitates anyone who's unlucky enough to develop it. Therefore, it has been an honor to tell you guys and inform you guys about what this disease is. So thank you for letting me have that opportunity to do so. Thank you.